and welcome to this yoga session today where we will be doing strength poses to condition and sculpt the whole body. So we're going to start at the front of the mat. I want you to really ground into those heels, roll from the front to the back on the balls of the feet. Inhale as you place your arms up in the air, and then exhale, placing the palms of the hand to the floor for forward fold. Inhale, coming up to half forward fold, straightening the back and the arms. And then exhale, placing the hands to the floor, stepping back to Chaturanga Dandasana and lowering down through plank pose. Inhale as you come up to Cobra. Exhale as you flip the feet over, push back in your hips to downward facing dog. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Placing the right leg forward. Come up into Warrior One, keeping the back ankle on the floor. Exhale, coming back down, sweeping the leg back into plank pose. Slowly lower down. Inhale as you come up for upward facing dog, and then exhale as you push back for downward facing dog. Warming up nicely to start off the practice, so it's going to go more in a flow. Taking the left leg forward, come up into Warrior One. And then exhale, coming back down, sweeping that left leg back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for upward facing dog. Flip the feet over, push the hips back for downward facing dog. Take a big step forward to the hands. Inhale for a half forward fold. And then exhale, placing your hands to the floor for full forward fold. Inhale as you come up, arms to the sky. Exhale, arms down your side. Very good, guys. And then we're going to go to round number 2. Inhale with the arms pointing up. Exhale, folding at the hips, hands to the floor. Inhale for half forward fold. Exhale, lower it down for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. So we're doing a nice flow just to warm the body up. Take the right foot forward for Warrior One. Arms to the sky. Exhale as you come back down, sweeping the leg back to go into our plank pose again. So make sure the wrists are underneath the shoulders, lower it down, take an inhale for upward facing dog, push back for downward facing dog, and breathe. Left leg forward comes in this time for Warrior One. Arms to the sky. Exhale, placing the arms down, sweeping that left leg back into plank pose. Lower it down slowly. Inhale as you come up for upward facing dog. Exhale as you roll the feet over, push back onto the hips for downward facing dog. Take a big step forward. Come up into half forward fold. Hands to the floor for full forward fold. And then on your next inhale, rise up, raising up the arms. Exhale, arms by the side. Right, are you ready for round 3? Let's go. So we're going to start with Utkatasana. So I want you to take a big sweep down and sit back into chair pose and just hold. So 1, 2, 3, sweep down, chair pose. And hold this position like you're sitting back in a chair. A nice squat with the arms up, feet hip distance apart. Exhale, placing the hands to the floor for forward fold. Inhale for half forward fold. Exhale, stepping back into plank pose. This time we're going to hold it. So we're going for a high plank. So wrists should be under shoulders. Really pushing through your shoulders and back, almost rounding it. Push forward on your toes so all your weight is on your core. And just hold and breathe. And slowly lower it down. Well done. Inhale for upward facing dog. And breathe. Flip the toes over. On your next exhalation, push the hips back for downward facing dog. Really lengthen the spine. Arms should be pushing out in front of you. Chest going into the thighs on every exhale. Inhale, sweeping the right leg forward. Coming up into, this time, crescent lunge. So I'm keeping the back left foot on, I'm on the ball of the foot. So more like a lunge rather than the warrior one. And just hold it here. Keeping your chest straight to the front of your mat. Keeping it strong through your thighs. And just breathe. Right, placing the back foot down, open up the arms for warrior two. This time your chest will naturally turn to your left hand side. Make sure your arms are in line with your shoulders and you'll be looking just over your middle finger on your right hand. Keep it nice and strong and breathe. Next is warrior three. So take an inhale, transfer the weight onto the right leg, and then slowly lifting the left leg up while keeping the stomach flat. Don't worry too much if your back leg isn't straight. And more of you focus on the balance for this pose so we can really work the core. You can bend the standing leg a bit if you want to, just to better your balance. If you're wobbling, it's okay. This is how we get stronger. Brilliant. Step back on the left leg and then get in position for a lunge. So go down into a lunge and then I want you to come forward, wrapping that left leg over the right in a figure four, doing a mini squat and then coming back to a lunge. Take it nice and slow, lunge down, come up, figure four squat. I know this is burning, we're not doing many of these. Just go at your own pace, do what you can. Lovely, hands to the floor, sweep that right leg back, and we're gonna go down into plank pose. Inhale for upward facing dog. Take a nice breath. And then from here, flip the feet over, going back into downward facing dog. We're taking 5 breaths here. So on every inhale, I want you to lengthen the spine. And every exhale, I want you to push back on your arms so your chest is going more towards your thighs. And just breathe. From here, step the left leg forward into crescent lunge, keeping the back right foot on the, so you're supported on the balls of your feet, keeping the chest forward, and breathe. Do what you can with these moves, guys. It doesn't matter if things aren't perfect. Your practice is your time to feel alive, loved, and free. Take a big inhale. Then exhale and extend the arms to parallel, dropping that back right foot down for warrior two. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, and you should be looking just over the top of your left hand middle finger. Really open the chest, keeping your arms in line with your shoulders. We're going to take a step forward and we're going to do warrior three. This time the left leg's going to be standing. And really keep a tabletop pose. I want you to visualize your stomach leaning on top of a table. So that's where you need the flatness to be. As I said, don't worry about the back leg. That's not important. It's more the core coming forward and you being able to hold it on that standing leg. Lovely. Step back. And we're going to go back into the lunges. So left leg forwards. Lunge down on the right leg and then bring that leg over. Put it over the left in a figure of four and then push back into a squat. If it helps, you can be near a wall so it helps with your balance. But just do what you can, take your time. We're not going to do many of these. And I know it started to burn now. I'm feeling it too. Take your time. One more. Lovely. Keep that leg back this time. Sweep the other leg back and we're going to go forward into plank pose. Lowering it down. Inhale as you come up. Take a nice breath. And then exhale, pushing back into downward facing dog. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to bring your chest to your thighs. And then take a big step in into halfway fold. Exhale into forward fold. And then sit back and come up into chair pose. So sitting back, pushing back. And exhale into mountain pose. Oh my God, it feels so good to stand up. Okay, so we're going to go into our next round. So shake it off and let's go. So starting with Utkatasana, take an inhale and sweep back into chair pose, going as low as you can and hold it. This is where we find most of our strength, in these postures where we're holding. The burning is a good sign that you are toning your body and sculpting to perfection. Exhale, coming down into forward fold. Inhale, coming up to half forward fold. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back into your high plank, and we're just going to hold it. And just breathe. Try and maintain a breath, a steady breath. And then slowly lower it down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale as you come up to upward facing dog. And exhale as you roll your feet over, pushing the hips back into downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths here. So the more you do this video, the better you'll get at the postures. But the study of Asana is not about mastering the posture, it's about understanding the posture to understand and transform yourself. So I just want you to remember that every time you repeat the same pose, you should go a little bit deeper. Okay, so sweeping the right leg forward, we're going to go up into crescent lunge. Arms above your head, doing a slight back bend. Keeping the back leg straight. Chest to the front of the mat. And then drop the left back foot down, and you're going to inhale and open up into warrior two. So open the arms parallel, really open the chest, and bend a little bit deeper in that right knee. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, but keep your arms in line with your shoulders. And hips will be in line with your shoulders as well. So from here, we are going to do the warrior three. So put all that weight onto your right leg and lean forward into your tabletop warrior three pose. You can even put your hands to the hips if you're more stable like this. Just do whatever you can and whatever helps your balance. It doesn't matter if you wobble, because that's how you're building strength in your ankles and your legs. So just keep going. You're doing great. Lower your left leg back down and place it behind you. We're going to do lunges with the right leg forward. And then come and do the figure of four and push back onto the squat. Taking it easy, doing what you can. Nice and slow with the balance. Hold the wall if you need to. This is our last round of these on our right leg. So make it count. Lovely. Put your hands to the floor, sweep the right leg back, and we're going into plank pose and lowering it down. Inhale for upward facing dog. Flip the feet over, push back into downward facing dog. And pedal it out, pedal out all that tension. Inhale the future, exhale the past, and just breathe. Yoga means addition of energy, strength and beauty to the body, the mind, and the soul. Taking that left leg forwards, raising up into crescent lunge. Take 5 deep breaths. Drop the right foot down, and I want you to inhale and open the arms parallel to warrior two. Really opening the chest, going deep into the front leg. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Eye gaze should be looking just through your middle finger on your left hand. Such a nice strengthening posture. Great, lower your arms, come onto that left leg, putting all the weight there. And exhale as you lift the right leg up, keeping your stomach straight. Holding on to your hips if you need to, or you can have your arms out. Doing whatever you can to keep that balance. You can even bend that straight leg. I'm extra wobbly today just from all of the lunges and squats we've been doing, so I'm sure you are too. All right, come back onto that back leg, and we're going to go into our last squat to eagle pose. So give it your all, guys. It's the last one, I promise. Really push back into the squat. Really dip down into your lunge. Almost there. Great. Last one. Oh, brilliant. Great. Take a step back, put the hands to the floor. And we're pushing down into downward dog. From here, we are pushing our weight forward into plank. Lower it down. Inhale for upward facing dog. Flip the feet over. Push back into downward facing dog again. And then take a big step in. Halfway fold. Hands down for forward fold. Sit back into your squat pose. And inhale as you come up, raising your arms. And we're just gonna hold for a little bit. Exhale, hands to your side. Well done. So our next round is going to be a little bit different. We're going to start in Utkatasana, so sweep your arms up, sit back into your squat pose. And then exhale as you fold down. Inhale as you come into half forward fold. Placing your hands down, take a step back. We're going to do high plank. Really push through your shoulder blades. Keep that weight forward. Using your core to hold your body up. And then lower it down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing back to downward facing dog. When I first started yoga, downward dog was not a pose that I was very fond of. And I remember my teacher said to me, the yoga pose you avoid is the one you need the most. So now I do it as much as I can. And I encourage you to do the same within your practice. From downward dog, bring your right foot forward and swing your left foot round as well. So they're in front of you. Our next pose is going to be a modified inclined plane pose. So your hands need to be just behind you, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, pressing onto the feet and hands to lift the hips up to a tabletop position. We're keeping the knees bent. So I want you to exhale to open the chest, slightly squeezing the shoulder blades together. Engage the glutes, keeping your hips high. And just align the body to make a straight line from your knees to the shoulders. Lengthen through the neck and breathe evenly. Exhale to come down. Well done, guys. You're going to roll over your knees and we're going to go into plank pose. We're going to hold that plank high while you breathe evenly. You know, I read the world record for plank is about 8 hours. Can you imagine? Keep holding it, and on your next exhale, we're going to slowly lower it down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Well done. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you push back into downward facing dog. And then step through and sit down. So feet should be hip distance apart. Lower down on your back. Keeping the knees bent, arms by your side. Make sure you can just graze your heel with your middle finger. And then we're going to inhale to lift the hips, raising the buttocks off the ground. And we're just going to breathe evenly for bridge pose. This strengthens the whole of the spine, the hamstrings, the calves and the glutes. Bring the palms of the hands together behind the back and interlock the fingers. and then walk the shoulder blades together to open the chest. Take an exhale as you come down. And we're going to take an inhale as we lift again for glute bridges. So as you lift, I want you to take a tuck of the tailbone as you get to the top, and then exhale as you lower back to the ground. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, squeeze, tuck the tailbone, exhale, lower. This is so good for the glutes. Throwing in a few more toning exercises before we finish to really sculpt that body. You're doing great. Brilliant. Now bring the knees to the chest to get rid of that tension, and then roll over to your left side for our next pose, which is a vinyasa, of course. So you're going to roll over your knees, step back in to plank, a nice high plank, hold it, hold it, and then lower it down, slow and controlled, keeping the back straight. Inhale to lift up for upward facing dog. Exhale to push back for downward facing dog. Pedal those legs, get rid of any tension in that lower back. Really lengthen the spine. Who knew yoga could make you sweat so much, right? Take a step in, cross the legs, sit on your bottom, put the legs up in front of you. Our next pose is Navasana, boat pose. So place your hands just behind the hips. Inhale, take a slight lean backwards, lift the legs up. Inhale to lengthen the spine. You can extend the legs straight if you want to, or keep them bent. Stretch the arms alongside of the legs. If you choose to straighten them, make sure you don't lean back. I'm going to keep mine bent because they are burning, I'm not going to lie. Release the shoulders away from ears and just breathe. Make sure you keep a straight back, a nice strong core. Try and lift your chest as much as you can. Right, relax, drop your feet to the ground, and then stretch out one foot at a time for some gentle leg bends. And then lean back, straight back into it. This time, see if you can hold your legs a little bit higher. See if you can get your chest up a little bit higher too. Try and keep your back straight. This pose improves digestion and can also assist in stress release. And relax your feet back to the floor, and let's do the leg bends again. And lean back straight into it. This time we are going to rotate from side to side. So we're just going to do Namaste in the middle and then place both hands on each side for a nice gentle twist. If you want to, you can add some weights while doing this, or maybe add a block. It's completely up to you. And relax. Well done. We're going to cross the legs. Ground into our sit bones, and then we're going to roll over the knees for a vinyasa. So get into your plank pose, lower it down, inhale as you come up, exhale back into downward facing dog. Lengthen that tailbone, And then sit down. Slowly lay down on your back. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Savasana pose. Take a few breaths here. Then bend both legs. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower the knees to the left hand side, while your upper body goes over to your right hand side for a supine abdominal twist. And just breathe. You can cross your right leg over the left for a deeper stretch if you want to. I would leave that up to you. I do these in my classes quite a lot because I just love the way they detoxify the body. They strengthen the abdominals. Inhale, coming back up to center. And exhale, dropping your knees to the right side and extending your upper body to the left side. If you want a deeper stretch, you can cross the left leg over the right. I'm going to have to do it because I did it on the other side and I don't want to be off balance. And just breathe. Okay, inhale, back up to center. And I just want you to bring your knees to your chest and gently rotate just to massage the lower back. You can hug your knees and then gently bring your forehead up to your knees just to stretch the lower part of the spine. And then roll your body over to your left side and then sit up. Thank you so much for joining me today in this conditioning class. I know it's been tough. This is one of those classes that will get easier the more you do it, so I encourage you to practice. Yoga is a light which, once lit, will never dim. The better your practice, the brighter your flame. Thank you again for joining me. Until next time, namaste.